Janice, are you on?
Yes?
Okay, just wanted to see it's 4:01. Should we get started or wait another minute?
Yep, we can go ahead and get started whenever you're ready.
Okay, cool. I'm ready. Born ready. Let's do this. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marilyn Brenner, and I am from the Let's Hit Boca Raton chapter in South Florida. So I wanted to come on here today and just talk to everybody about COVID-19 and about marketing your business during this time. A lot of people have questions. I mean, we're all kind of going through this together. It's something that we're all learning how to navigate. There's never been an event like this in our history. So it's hard to see how to react. I mean, some people are hoarding all the toilet paper. Others have learned that they have hidden chef talents that they're working on or catching up on Netflix shows. However, in all seriousness, you know, there's a lot of businesses that have been affected, some in a positive way, others not so much. Some have had to close their doors. Other businesses have just slowed down in general or come to a halt. So instead of looking at the downside of that, though, I've been trying to look at the positive. And it's like, okay, if your business has slowed down, this is an opportunity to grow your online presence, to work on marketing, things that you might not have had time to do previously. Now is the opportunity to really work on those things and get your business set up for the future once we come over this. It may be the new norm, maybe online and virtual meetings are going to be the new norm going forward. So it's important just to be ready for that and be prepared if that is the case, and you know, have your business be able to see the other side of this COVID-19. But I hope everyone on this call is healthy and feeling good. I hope all your family members are doing well, and I'm eager to share with you some bullet points I put together. If you have questions, just put them in the chat, and at the end of the webinar, I'll go through and answer any questions that I didn't already answer through the meeting here. So I just started with this little visual for you. So this is actually the actual Instagram page of the World Health Organization, so WHO. They're doing a very nice job with their posts. If you are on Instagram, I would definitely suggest following them. They do post some good information on there. So I love memes. I think memes shine a little bit of light on what can, you know, be a dark situation. I mean, the news puts such a negative light on it, and it is. It's, you know, COVID-19 is scary, what people are dealing with, everyone having to be quarantined, going outside in masks. So posting memes on social media, I feel like, you know, just kind of break up that negativity all the time, and just, it's important to let some release out. So I always like to share memes, not too many. You know, you don't want to cross the line. If you feel like something's crossing a line, definitely think twice before posting. Once you post it on the internet, it is public, and if someone screenshots it, well, now it's permanent. So really want to make sure whatever you do publish, it's something that you're comfortable posting for yourself and for your business. It's really important to show empathy and understanding during this time. So sending a caring message to an existing client can really go a long way in tapping into those clients that you haven't spoken to or heard from, past clients and present, just to let them know that you're here and you're there for them. So what are your audience pain points right now? Are they dealing with working from home? Is this something new for them that they've never had to deal with before? I know that some of the clients I've worked with have struggled signing onto Zoom or joining me, the video chat sessions, getting used to having to meet remotely and not being able to meet in person. It's been a challenge. So what are those pain points? Are they parents that are homeschooling for the first time? That has definitely been a challenge a newer challenge for a lot of young families. And so it's important to know if it's something that they're dealing with, just reaching out in any way that you can and trying to help. And that is not just for marketing purposes, that is just as a person, as good nature to reach out and try to, help people when they're in need. And it's something to be remembered for in the future as well. And then, are they trying to stay active and healthy during quarantine? So it's very easy when you're working from home to want to snack all the time. I know, because I do it regularly. So making sure that if that's a pain point, if you see that your target audience, if that's something that they are struggling with, reaching out on their level and maybe posting things that can help them, and trying to keep it related to your business at the same time. It's always a fun struggle to try to play with, but it allows for creativity, which I love. So another important thing to keep in mind is, can you pivot to meet your customers' immediate needs? I know a lot of restaurants have been doing some interesting techniques, which I'll get into in my next slide here. And other companies have had to pivot their business model so that they can service clients with what they're needing today, because what they were needing back in January, February might not be what they need right now. And it's really important to be able to pivot your business so that way you can fulfill that need that they have now. And then I actually just copied this right before our presentation on this post from Food and Wine. So they had posted this, how restaurants are turning their parking lots into drive-in theaters. So this goes in line with pivoting a business. Restaurants can't have dine-in service. So what are these local restaurants doing that have the space? They're creating a drive-in movie theater experience. And others, I've seen other restaurants post that they're giving toilet paper with their to-go order, or they're selling foods before cooking so that way you can prepare them at home. They're offering online cooking classes. So it's really interesting to see the dynamic that these restaurants that can't service patrons there in person anymore are pivoting and turning their business to try and attract, clients and fulfill that need that they have right now. So I've been really enjoying them, go through the motions and figuring that out, as we all are. So another important thing is to explore new ways to stay connected. So experimenting with video recordings and live video. If live video is not something that you're comfortable with, not everyone is comfortable with just going live and being organic and in the moment. They're too worried about being perfect or messing up or have to fix it. That's fine. Live recording is my preferential method because it's real. People get to see you, and you can show people in real time what's going on in your business. It also, when you go live, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, it actually notifies all of your followers that you're going live, which is nice because they'll get notified in that moment, and that will drive them back to your page. And hopefully something that you share, whether it's a good piece of advice, information about your business, or something that could be relevant to them, could drive a sale, whether it's now or in the future. Also trying some of the functionality that these platforms have introduced for engagement. So Instagram and Facebook have poll features. On Instagram, it's in the stories. On Facebook, it's actually in the posts where you can ask questions to get your audience to engage with you. And it's really great to poll people, how many people enjoy working from home, or what are your favorite foods to make at home? There's lots of different ways you can poll people, and depending on your industry, you can really customize it to get people to interact with your posts and what you're sharing. It's just really be mindful. The next number 3, to engage with the comments on your post. So don't just make a post or post a poll and then not interact and disappear. You want to engage in conversation. So a lot of times I like to share social media as a social platform. You want to be social. You don't just want to post and leave. And I know a lot of businesses that are guilty of that. Just, okay, I posted, so I did what I had to do and I leave because I'm not really into this. It's like, this is an extension of your business. Social media is an extension of your business. And it's really important that if you start a conversation, to continue that conversation. And then number 4, check out your competitors' posts to see what their audience engages with. So it's really, valuable to go in and see, okay, this is what my competitor's doing and it's working really well for them. They're getting a lot of engagement, or they have this offer that's working really well. Maybe I can do something similar or make it better. It's always better to make it better. So really keeping an eye on what they're doing, what's working for them, and, seeing how you can use it in return for your own business. So now is the time to explore, look for new opportunities, and set the stage for better, more engaged customers more engaged customer interactions now and in the future. So one of the things that came to mind when I wrote that, looking for new opportunities, now more than ever, people really want to get involved with giving back, whether it's to the first responders, to the healthcare workers. Nonprofits are struggling. A lot of nonprofits deal with in-person events, and right now a lot of these nonprofits have had to cancel their events and they can't fundraise that way. They're looking for other ways to fundraise. So if local businesses would partner up with them, it would help both. So you'll be helping a nonprofit and you'll also be supporting your business. By putting it out there on social media that you're helping these nonprofits and supporting them with their cause helps people in the community to see that you're a caring business, that you like to give back, and they'll be more inclined to do business with you at the end of the day. So that's one thing I wanted to share. So my next slide here is doing some social media cleanup during the downtime. So we are still in spring, and it's important to clean up your social media profiles, especially when you have some downtime. So this is downtime for you. You want to make sure, number one, all your business social media profiles are complete. So you want to go to your Facebook page, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, any place that your business is listed on social media. You want to go through and you want to hit every section. You want to make sure your name is spelled correctly and complete, that your address is correct, your phone number, email address, that if someone lands on any of those social media pages, that they can get in touch with you without having to go through too much trouble or not being able to find you right away. People make decisions very quickly, usually have about 7 seconds before they move on to someone else. Especially if it's a cold lead or someone that's not familiar with you. Number two, your main images, logos, and cover photos should be clear and not blurry or poorly cropped. So I'll have samples of that on my next slide of what I mean when they should be clean and clear. Number three, the call to action should be obvious. Don't make it a chore to figure out how to reach your business. So that goes in line with number one, making sure your profiles are complete. If your profiles are not complete, you're not letting people know, hey, I prefer to get phone calls, I prefer to get email, I prefer to be texted. Whatever your preferred method of contact is, let people know. Don't have them try to guess how to reach you. Make it really clear. Okay, text me at this number, and people will respond. And it's nice because then you'll get the information the way you want, and people will respond the way that you want them to. Number four, choosing which social media platforms you will be focusing on or even joining a new one. So TikTok is growing in popularity. It used to be just like a generation, I think it's Z, that was on TikTok. Now we're getting millennials on TikTok. Now we're getting a whole new realm of people on there. So it's really valuable to go in and try to just play around with these new platforms. You don't have to get too crazy or make it perfect every time, but just getting familiar with them, seeing who's on there, and seeing if it's an opportunity for your business. If it's not, you can still go back to the tried and true, the Facebook, the Instagrams, but pick one or two and then really focus on growing those. There's no sense of being on every single social media platform and not really mastering any of them. So it's really good, pick the ones where your audience is and then really focus on growing those. And then number five, creating visually appealing content, including pictures and video. So having really great content, really great images is the first thing, because you can have amazing content, but if your picture, pardon my word, but sucks, if your picture sucks, is poorly cropped, poorly pixelated, isn't visually appealing, people are going to move on. They're not going to care what you have to say. So you have to grab them with the image first and then write great content to go along with it. But your visuals are definitely going to be number one, and then your content are going to come right in line with that. Okay, so here are some examples of image quality, what I was talking about. So when you have your Facebook page, your Instagram, Twitter, you have the logo space for your logo, and you have an image for a cover photo on Twitter and on Facebook and LinkedIn. On Instagram, you don't, you just have the logo. However, all of those images should be clear. They should not look like the first line of images here. Yes, you can see what companies they are, but it looks terrible. It looks unprofessional. It doesn't look clean. So you want to make sure that your logos, that your images that you use are quality. If you don't have a quality logo, you don't have a quality image, definitely connect with your graphic designer in your group, or find a local designer that can help support you with that. It's really important to look great and sharp online, because when you can't be there, you got your online image is there. So you want to make sure that your online image is as polished and professional as you are. And then we have our verify and claim your online business listings. So these are just 2 handfuls of local listing directories and social media channels where pretty much every business should be listed, for the exception of like TripAdvisor, which is more for like restaurants and adventure things, and travel. But every business should be listed on all of these directories. Not only should you be listed there, but you want to make sure that the listing is correct, that your phone number, email address, mailing address, everything is correct. And the reason why it's so important to be listed on here is because these websites rank on Google. And what that means is that Google will show these when someone Googles your business name. These are usually the directories besides your website that pop up in search. So you want to make sure that you claim and verify your listings here. This webinar is being recorded, so once it's done, everyone, I believe, is going to get an email copy of the webinar, and you'll be able to actually go through and pull up each one. So I'll go through them quickly. We have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google My Business, Yelp, the Better Business Bureau, TripAdvisor, YP.com, which is Yellow Pages, Dex Knows, Yahoo Local, Google Maps, this is Apple Maps, Bing, Foursquare, Angie's List, MapQuest, and Local.com. So those are just a handful of the listings where your business should definitely be. This is a little graphic that I created for a client, Preferred Ergonomics. So they sell ergonomic furniture. And right now, with all the people working from home and homeschooling, clips like these draw attention. They're short and sweet and to the point, but the message is there. Everyone needs ergonomic furniture right now. So this is another meme that I enjoyed. I don't know how many Tiger King fans we have. Tiger King is someone who buys and raises tigers for a living. Well, not anymore, but so when you get that coronavirus paycheck, don't go and buy a tiger. That's all I wanted to say there. Okay, so here are some other marketing items to consider. Number 1, is your website and print collateral up to date, or could it use a refresh? So now's a great time to really audit your website, go through your brochures, your business card, anything that you hand to someone or show someone about your business. If it doesn't look professional, if it's out of date, now's the time to get those things updated. I've seen a lot of websites and met with a lot of people where I go through their website and I'm like, oh, you do XYZ? And they're like, oh, no, we don't do that anymore. We just haven't updated our website. So it doesn't look very professional. You want to make sure to clean that up, make sure that all the services that you do offer are on your website, and anything that you do not offer is not on your website. So number 2, are you utilizing stock images for your website and social media? Now would be a great time for a professional photo shoot. So stock images are great. There are some, really good ones, and occasionally they're fine to use. However, you don't want stock images to be the only thing that you have to show for your business. You definitely want some authentic photos. And right now, I know photographers can do product photography because people don't have to be involved in that. They're there with the products. So it's a great opportunity to showcase your products and your services. And if you have a restaurant, showcase your food. And if you have a dry cleaner, showcase some amazing shirts that you dry cleaned, or dresses, or whatever that looks like for you. Number 3, is your website ranking on page 1 of Google? If not, starting an SEO strategy now can help you get there. So SEO, a lot of people don't like that word. However, it's still really important and valuable if done correctly.
I came out and did measured up the buildings, but I didn't measure the garage.
An SEO strategy can help you get there. So an SEO strategy basically is helping your website be ranked on page 1 of Google so that when someone searches your business name or a relatable topic regarding your business, they're looking for a specific business of your kind in your area, you want to make sure that you show up, and SEO is a service to help you get there. Okay, number 4, do you have an explainer or whiteboard video letting people know who you are and what you do? So just writing in words on your website who you are and what you do is great. However, video is just so powerful. I know a lot of people would rather watch a 30-second video than read, a 500-word blog. So visuals are always great. Having a short video of who you are, what you do is always good practice. And I really enjoy the whiteboard animations because they tend to keep people's attention span for longer. So number 5, are you nurturing your past, present, and future clients? So you want to make sure to, like I said before, reach out to your past clients that you've done business with and just check in with them. Hey, how are you? I'm just checking in. I hope your family are doing well, and letting them know that you're here for them, that you care, and nurturing. It's much easier to get a past client than to sign a new one. A past client that's had a good experience will be more likely to come back. And a new one is kind of like starting a new relationship from scratch. So it's always nice to tap into those previous clients, let them know that you're here for them, and also existing ones as well. And then number 6, business reviews. What's your rating? So I am a fan of reviews, and before I make any purchases on Amazon, I make sure to read the reviews and see what people have to say about the product. And if there's too many negative reviews, I'm moving on. So it's really important to know if your business is being reviewed, how many reviews you have, how many are good, how many are bad. Are you responding to those reviews? That's another thing that's really important. If you're not taking the time to respond to people that have left you a nice review, you're missing out on potential opportunity for repeat business or even referrals. Okay, so this is another meme that I came across in my travels. So this is a divorce lawyers waiting for people to be quarantined with their spouse for weeks. I don't agree with that, but some people might. Okay, and then I have some free resources for everyone. And again, this webinar is being recorded and will be sent to everyone, so you'll have access to these links. So Hootsuite.com is a scheduling tool that you can use to schedule your social media posts ahead of time. I did write a note to be mindful through the situation that we're dealing with the coronavirus. That seems to be changing daily. I wouldn't schedule anything more than 1 week at a time, just because you want to be mindful of not posting something that might be irrelevant a week or 2 from now. So because everything is changing day to day, you want to make sure not to schedule too far in advance. Under normal circumstances, you could probably do 2 to 3 weeks out, even sometimes a month in advance. But for now, because of the situation, I would say keep it to weekly if you're scheduling in advance. The next item I have is Trello. So Trello is a great tool to keep track of your assignments and projects. This is a really good tool if you work with a team, because you can assign tasks to your team members and deadlines. So you can put in, the task that has to be done, tag the person that needs to work on it, and give them a deadline. And the nice thing is, if you work with like multiple people, you can give the right people the right access that they need to go through and kind of see what everyone else is working on. It's a really great tool, especially when working in groups. Canva.com is great for social media graphics, creating simple flyers and brochures and other DIY projects. So if you just need something simple for a one-time small event or offer or a social media post, you can go on canva.com and create a free account. And from there, you can create very simple graphics, flyers, brochures. If you need something more professional, if it's something that you're going to use ongoing, definitely hire a designer. It's worth it. Google My Business is it's a Google listing, and Google loves Google. So I always tell everyone, claim your Google My Business listing for your company. When you Google your company name, if you have a Google My Business listing, it's going to be on the right side of the search results in Google. This is only on desktop, so you're not going to see it. If you Google your name on mobile, you'll only see it on desktop. So really important, you want to make sure to do that. If you don't have a Google listing, or if your Google listing is unclaimed, you want to make sure to claim it and verify your listing. On emojipedia.org is another site that I love. It's you can paste emojis into your posts. So if you're scheduling from a phone, you have all your emojis in your keyboard. However, if you're posting from a desktop, it's a lot harder to get the exact emojis that you want to use. So the emojis are the smiley faces and frowny faces and crying faces, anything that expresses emotion. So I do like to use strategically placed emojis. I never like to over emoji. One or two strategically placed emojis can really change the tone of a post. So I love Emojipedia for that. It gives me lots of these little guys here to play around with and put into my posts. Then we have google.com/trends. And that site actually lets you see what's trending in your industry in real time. So you can see what people are Googling in where you live, where you do business, based on keywords that you put in. So keywords are basically your industry. You can put in, if you're a dry cleaner, you put in dry cleaning, dry cleaner, all those different words to see what people are talking about. And then that way you can write what it is that they're interested in. So it's pretty cool. Story Art is a free iPhone app where you can design stories for Instagram. So if you're regularly posting on Instagram and creating stories, Story Art is a really nice app that's very easy to use, where you can actually design different stories in a very short amount of time that look really nice and professional. HubSpot.com has a blog topic generator, and I put the URL. It's the second to last one on the slide here. So if you're a blog writer, you want to start a blog for your site, but you're just like, I just don't know what to write about, the blog topic generator will help you with that. Again, you put in your keywords or your industry, and it'll give you topic suggestions on what to write about. And then the last one is the email signature generator. So if you don't have a professional email signature, in your emails that's complete with your name, your return email address, your phone number, you want to make sure to really have that done. And that way, when you send an email to someone, they always have the right contact information to get back to you. That was my free resources. So these are great resources that are low cost. And I kept them separate because, you know, a lot of businesses I know are on a very tight budget right now, doing layoffs, things like that. So if you only want to access the free resources, I kept them separate. However, if you do have a small budget, these are low cost resources that I love, that I use myself, and I highly recommend. So the first one is MailChimp, and that's an email marketing platform to help you manage and talk to your clients and customers. And it's a great way just to keep in touch through email. Review-.io is actually for reviews. So if your business has a lot of reviews coming in, it's a great tool where it actually pulls in the reviews from over 60 different sites, from Google, Facebook, Yelp, and puts them all in one place, and you're able to respond from one dashboard instead of having to go to different places to find reviews to respond to them. If you don't have any reviews, that actually helps you generate reviews. You're able to upload your email list and ask people that have done business with you in the past to review your business. The nice thing about the tool, instead of sending them directly to Google, let's say you sent it to someone and they didn't have a great experience, it actually you can set up filters to filter out the bad reviews. They would come to you, and it would give you an opportunity to resolve it before they just go and post a review directly on Google. Then we had Leadleaf.io, and Leadleaf is a lead management tool. So Leadleaf actually allows you to follow a sales process until you get to the end result, which is a sale. So what I love about Leadleaf is you can upload your list here. You can set up follow-up emails and text messaging, which I love. And that way you can keep in touch with your existing and your new clients. Zapier.com is an automation tool. I won't get too involved in that, but if you're using more than one software, Zapier actually allows you to integrate one into the other and kind of remove yourself. So it's more automation. Adespresso.com, if you're running paid advertising on Facebook, Instagram, and Google, you can set up all your ads and run them through Adespresso, and it's a great place to keep everything organized. 123rf.com is an affordable stock photography site. So if you're looking for really nice stock photography, 123rf is a great place to look for some out-of-the-box stock photography. And then Yext.com helps with all those local listings that I showed earlier. Yext is one platform where you put in your information and it actually blasts it out to all of those local platforms instead of having to do them one by one. And the difference is if you do them on your own one by one, it doesn't cost anything except your time. And if you do it through Yext, you have to pay them a monthly fee. And then these are the top trending COVID-19 hashtags. So I wanted to make sure to share these. These are what is trending right now when people are posting on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. These are the hashtags you want to make sure you include in your post if they're relevant. So we have coronavirus, COVID, coronavirus, quarantine, stay home, social distancing. I won't go through all of them, but these are the top ones that came up in search. And these are the hashtags that people are using in their posts. So you want to make sure that if you are sharing something about COVID, that you include these hashtags. On Instagram, it's a maximum of 30 hashtags that they allow. On Facebook, I use 3. On Twitter, they suggest 2. And that's for hashtag use. And then, excuse me. We have a social media content calendar that I created. So this calendar basically is good for pretty much any industry. It's very easy to follow. I actually have a link at the bottom to the blog that actually explains and gives ideas for each post of what you can share. And then I really enjoyed this. I love to share things that are positive. So for me, this was tough times never last, but tough people do. And I am just so grateful for my Let's Hit family. And I know that we are all going to get through this together. So I wanted to share this with you and leave on a positive note. And then on my last slide, just sharing a little bit about me. So I have been doing social media marketing and been involved in the marketing industry for over 7 years professionally, but I've been using social media personally for much longer than that. I'm certified in Hootsuite, which is the social media scheduling platform. And on the right side is all my contact information. So if you have any questions, you can connect with me on social media or you can contact me. And in my picture here is my little guy, Rio. And Rio's 6-year-old son, Pioneer, and he's my little VP. So I wanted to share him with all of you. And that's it. That's what I have to share. So I want to thank you all for your time. I'll go through the chat and see what questions came in. Let's see. Okay. And Allison asks, is there a way to measure if you are posting too much or too often on social media? So that's a great question. If I'd say a good rule is to share minimum 3 to 4 times per week on social media. You don't want to bombard people with too much information. I mean, if you have some really great information to share, 5 or 6 times is okay. If you have an event coming up and you want to share it regularly, that's also fine. But I find that 3 to 4 posts fits well for most industries. And got some thank you. So thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, loving the chat. Oh, loving the chat. So, okay, is TikTok just for video? So yes, TikTok exclusively works with video. There's people that take videos of pictures. So if you have a picture and you don't have a video to go along with it, you could just take a video of the picture and talk over it, and you can share that. So that's a good cheat. If you don't want to record like a moving video, you could just record a static image. And I think I answered all the questions. Does anyone else have anything?
It looks like Adam Cooper had one. She said, is it true that posts generally don't get shown to all of the members of your business page on Facebook?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it is absolutely true. And the reason for that is because the advertisers want you to spend money with them. The best platforms to use to get the most organic traffic, which is unpaid traffic or free, essentially, is on Instagram. Instagram uses the hashtags a lot to get people to find each other's posts on similar topics. So Instagram is still one of the platforms that you can grow without having to spend marketing dollars on. However, with Facebook, it's pay to play at this point. You have to spend money. Luckily, the ads are pretty affordable. Even with a $5 or $10 budget for per post, you can get some good engagement as long as you have good content and a good offer or good content, something that's visually appealing.
It's just a scroll.
And then Scott had, which social media platforms do you recommend for networking rather than social, like TikTok and Snap? Social media platforms. For networking, I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the new place to network. There's lots of tools you can use to actually do automated connections to the people that you want to connect with, which is pretty cool. And it's actually worked really nicely for people, especially now that we're not allowed to meet in person. It's actually really great to go on and be able to connect with people one-on-one through LinkedIn. Actually, have been doing an outreach campaign for an attorney, and she said she actually made a power partner, and now they're giving referrals to each other. So it works. If it's done right, it can work really well. All right, anyone else? You mentioned creating an SEO plan to appear on page 1 of a Google search. For someone who doesn't know any better, that seems unattainable or very expensive. Can I comment? Yes. So an SEO plan is going to vary based on the industry that you go with and how quickly you want to get to page 1 of Google. So if you're okay with the slow growing plan, you can get something that's more affordable. If you want to really rank on page 1 quickly, you're going to pay for that. So it's really based on the strategy. Is it a long-term game to get on page 1 of Google through SEO, or do you want to get there quickly? The fastest way to get on page 1 is to run paid advertising on Google, which is very expensive. Let's see. Allison said, do businesses need to be on TikTok, or is that more for fun? So businesses, you don't have to be on anything, right? I suggest, when I say you don't have to be on anything, I mean it's better to just have the complete profiles if you're not going to be consistent. If you are going to pick a platform, you want to be consistent with it, just because that's where you're going to see the most return and the most value. If you're not going to be consistent with it, it's better just to create the profile and even maybe just let it be than to be inconsistent, because then it kind of looks like if you posted and it was 2 years ago, people might think you went out of business, and that's not a good look either. So going back to TikTok, TikTok is fun. I have seen a lot of doctors and attorneys that are now turning to TikTok for business. So it can get there. It's not there yet. It's still more in the fun stage, but I could definitely see it evolve. And the best time to get in with something like that is always in the beginning. So I would say if you have the time and you want to make the effort, now's the time to get on TikTok and be one of the first. Any other questions?